Sunday, the 13th day in the month of December 2022, will go down as another epochal day in the annals of history as former students of the Federal Government College, Ogbomoso, Fegokosa, Ibadan chapter, gathered to honor one of their own, Mogaji Joseph Olasukomi Tegbe, for his immeasurable contribution to the growth of the association over the years. Mogaji Tegbe, some members recall, was the one who in 1992 released the sum of 250,000 naira of his personal money for the registration of the association with the Corporate Affairs Commission and to facilitate the smooth takeoff of the association's secretariat. Since then, he has not for once shied away from donating his time, energy, money, professional expertise, and personal network towards the growth of the association. He was at one time the global president of the association and has served on the board of trustees for many years. Indeed, the history of Fegokosa's evolution and growth over the last 3 decades cannot be written without Mogaji Tegbe's notable contribution, enjoying several chapters in it. The decision by the Ibadan chapter of the association to honor him with an award of recognition is thus a suitable, appropriate, and commendable one. Mogaji Tegbe goes down memory lane to reminisce about school life.
I went to Ogbomoso just like everybody, and Nadi's was the intake, but again it was compulsory that you must do other things, books. So most of us who were also sportsmen, even Tony was a sportsman there. But beyond sports, some of us, Femi didn't tell his story complete, but one day I will have opportunity to tell you because I'm sure I will attend 1 or 2 of your meetings next year. But some of us also were, some people were love-laying victims. Some were, in our days, we used to call them Kotuma of the Ashibutok's. Those security men. What I'm trying to say, in those days, we were balanced students. We studied very hard, and I think we party very hard, we play very hard.
As a student at the Federal Government College, Ogbomoso, Mogaji Tegbe earned a magnificent reputation for his academic prowess. He was said to have consistently held the first position throughout the period of his studentship at the college. Upon graduation from the college, he proceeded to the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, where he bagged a first-class honors in civil engineering. Mogaji Tegbe has also had education at the Lagos Business School, London School of Economics, INSEAD in France, Yale University, Harvard Business School, and Harvard Kennedy School of Government, among others. He is presently wrapping up a postgraduate study in public administration. Additionally, Mogaji Tegbe has obtained a CGIT certificate in governance enterprise. He is a chartered accountant as well as a fellow Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He is also a fellow Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, FCIT.
So I left Ogbomoso and I went to Ife. I studied civil engineering, I had a first class in civil engineering, and I decided to practice civil engineering for a while with NMBC for about 1.5 years, and then decided to switch over my career to accounting.
A true-born Ibadan indigene from the Jegede compound in the Labo area of Ibadan, Mogaji Tegbe has had extensive professional experience in providing management and technology advisory services to organizations, multinationals, institutions, governments, civil fora, and numerous international bodies. He also possesses extensive project management skills acquired from various local and offshore trainings. Mogaji Tegbe has served as African lead for cybersecurity practice at one of the world's most valuable and most respected organizations, the KPMG, thereby making him one of Africa's leading cybersecurity think tank. Mogaji Tegbe also worked on the broadband blueprint, which made Nigeria one of the countries with the fastest growing internet penetration in the world. Some of his other laudable professional accomplishments include the development of the Infraco model that contributed to the transformation of Nigeria's telecom sector. He also masterminded the repositioning of the finance and accounts function of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. He has served as Chairman, National Council for Management Development, NCMD, and is a Senior Partner and Head of Technology Advisory Services and Markets of KPMG Professional Services in Nigeria. Mogaji Tegbe also used the occasion to talk about his foray into partisan politics.
So I started the public sector work in KPMG. I remember the first 2 jobs we did for KPMG. We probably wrote off. The first job was with NIMS, NIMS. After 2 years, we wrote off 200 million that they refused to pay. But we continued. And I worked with government in Ghana, Botswana, South Africa. I decided to work with state governments in Nigeria. I was involved in the reform of electricity reform, regulatory commission. I was involved in the work with BP, NCC. I designed the Infraco model for NCC. I did a lot of, government reform projects. The roadmap that Governor Ajibobi used in 2011 to govern Oyo State, I drafted it, and he doesn't hide it. He tells people. And that was why he called me in 2018, December 2017. I said, Tegbe, you are the only one that understands this roadmap. Come and continue. But he asked me some questions. He said, can you bomb 500 million? I said, what do you mean by bomb? Can you put fire on 500 million? I said, I can't put fire on 500 million. But I can spend 500 million and look away. He said, okay, start. He also asked me, if you go to the crowd and they shoot gun, will you run away? And I told him that I look British, but I was born in Akesan, in Oyo. I'm a garage in me. He laughed. And then we started. And before we started, we gave everything to God, because when fasting, when praying, and it was for us to win until they asked me to step down. So after that, I said, people said, oh, you can't leave politics, you can continue. I went back to my job. I was combining with politics until all sorts of things happened in Vasoko's party. So I decided in April, that look, if governorship is being given to somebody indirectly, why waste my time? But I realized something. We who are private sector or technocrats, we are seen as outsiders in politics. You can't continue to fight as outsiders. Tegbe, they are technocrats. They are not like us. So I said, okay, let me step down my ambition. I will go for Senate. Let's fight that Senate. When I'm fighting as a senator, they will not say I'm an outsider. And that was why I chose to go to PDP, because then I look at all the candidates. So sorry, my brother from Labour Party. I'm not even sure you. Labour, I'm not sure you people don't have to go. Do you have to go for Nigerian candidate? I don't know his name. Okay, we don't know his name. Yeah, vote for him. So I look at the gubernatorial candidates. I said, okay, you have Teslim Folani, who has decided to steal everything in APC. And then you have Sheyi Makinde, PDP. And I knew that Bayo Adelabu, whatever it cost him, he would contest. So I said, who among those three can I work with? My automatic choice was Tegbe, because I think we belong to the same orientation, with the same finesse, the same outlook, you know. So, and that's why I took senatorial ticket for Oyo South. Now Oyo South, you know, there are three senatorial areas in Oyo State. There's Oyo South, there's Central, and there's Oyo North. Oyo South is the main Ibadan city, which is the 5 local governments in Ibadan. Ibadan North, which is where we are now. Ibadan Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest. Ido, and the 3 local governments in Ibarapa. Ibarapa North, Central, and East. That is what my senatorial area covers. By God's grace, I'll be contesting on the platform of PDP. Election is February 25, 2023. All I just want to do is enjoy you and your family and your friends to please come out. I know you all vote for me. That one is not but I want you to reach out and canvass, you know, for me. And I can tell you one thing, I will not disappoint you. I'm not looking for money. I've stopped building houses. I've stopped buying cars. But I want to touch the community.
The occasion was spiced with friendly banters and open camaraderie.
On behalf of Ibadan and all of us across the set, we want to say we're proud to be associated with you. We're proud of all you achieved, and we are confident that once you get into the system, the change we're all looking for is going to start with you. And we're also assuring you from this gathering that whatever support you need outside of money, we will provide.
Some old schoolmates of Mogaji Joseph Olasukomi Tegbe recall their impression of him in the course of their interaction over the years.
You know, I entered in '82, and that was the year Tegbe graduated. But I used to see him as a senior who was a leader and who had vision and was passionate about every good thing in school. So I would say that he was a good role model. But later on, when I graduated and I worked with him in the organization of Fegokosa, and I now realized I got closer to him and I knew him more. The little quality that I saw in school, he actually demonstrated it after school. So after school was when I saw so many of those protests. Number one is a selfless leader who is able to serve. Then he also leads by example. Because this Fegokosa that we're talking about today, he was one of the founding leaders and is a past global president. So, and he always comes to help us and usually when we have issues he is a problem solver. So I would say that he has many qualities in one. When he was the global president of Fegokosa, he actually placed Fegokosa in the national map. And he was also one of the founding members of the USOSA. USOSA is the organization for unity schools in Nigeria. And he actually increased our participation, our visibility, and that's what we have today. And this is a great association today, what we have today. If not for his effort, maybe this association will not be like we are celebrating today.
Since I joined the association, he has been making immense contribution to the growth of the association. Not even that alone. When we talk about creating employment for the juniors that left the school after him, he has been creating that opportunity and giving employment to the people. And he has been making his contribution to the All Student Association. When you talk about leadership, someone that has been making a positive contribution to the life of the people before seeking for any position, even when he was not expecting anything from them, that's the number one quality someone should consider in choosing or making a leader. He is a complete gentleman.
He was my senior, very intelligent, and a man of integrity. As our senior then, he was accommodating and a friend, and he's everything to us. No, well, he's a man of integrity, competence, and an honest man.
He was oxygen and the best student in the school. So he has always been a brilliant person. We know him for sports, we know him for parties, we know him for discipline. There were times he would tell us we should man the front. But by and large, he has been the most successful as far as I'm concerned. Because I remember we were at one end of the year party in Ogumosho, and I was shocked when I realized that the generator we were using was actually commandeered that day, brought all the way from Lagos for us to use. So Tegbe has been a great sponsor of Egusa.
My name is Tayo Budama. Finished the promotion in 1998 and I was in Unity House.
So what was your impression about Tegbe while you were in school?
Tegbe was a legend. You know, he was a brilliant guy. We considered him as a genius. He was really like a role model to all of us. It's really somebody that we all look up to as a role model.
He has been one of the major sustainers of the association. He is also one of the BOTs, and then he has been of great support for the association globally and as well as Ibadan chapter. So he's a gentleman, and then I also happen to be under his senatorial district, and then every time we reach out to him, he has been of help to us, and then we can't ask for somebody better than this. I've seen him portray leadership qualities, like I can say his ability to douse tension, his ability to take things easy, and then whatever you bring to him and you feel like it's a big issue, he has a way of going around it. He's full of wisdom, and then this elderly part of him is one thing we can always rely on.
Incidentally, I didn't meet Tegbe in school, so I finished in 1991 and JT finished in 82 or 83. However, even after the man left school, the man left trails of record in school. So everywhere you go to, Tegbe was fastest person, Tegbe was smartest person, Tegbe was this, Tegbe was that. So even though I didn't meet him in school, but he left a lot of record that people that came after him were able to. I met Tegbe as a global president at the time. Years ago, I was about a chapter president, and I was going to work first, but not first. I ended up having to work with Tegbe just to support whatever was being done at the center from Ibadan. So yes, while he was global president, I was chapter president, and we were able to work together. An interesting thing about that period of time, look, Tegbe is a very creative person. He's a visionary. He has a lot of vision. So what he needs is, every time he comes up with vision, he needs people around him to bring those visions to life. So once you're a very conscientious person, you find it very easy working with him. And you know, what that also does for you is, it inspires you to be better than yourself. It inspires you to go out of yourself to also want to live on some mark wherever you find yourself. So yes, I've had the privilege of working with him.
What qualities do you see in him?
I think for me, number one would be courage. He's very courageous. It takes a lot of courage for somebody that has been in the private sector and has done so well in the private sector for such a long time to step outside of his comfort zone and say, look, I want to get involved in politics, I want to add impact in politics. So for me, the number one strength I see in JT is his courage.
Tegbe helped us to shape our faith. For so many years, he was our president. When nobody wanted to be our president, he stood in for us and made sure everything went fine. Because then, for so many years, he's someone that has so I feel he knows the economy in and out.
Well, I happen to know him since school days. Particularly, I think he once supervised my class when I was in class 1 then. We used to have these seniors come around us to supervise us during the prep because he was just an fickle person, somebody that we all look forward to. He will make sure that he supervises us very well. We read our book. So I happen to know him from school. He was a prefect. I couldn't remember the portfolio, but I'm sure that there's no how he wouldn't have had any leadership position. But certainly he was prefect. He was also the lead person in the school, what do you call it, quiz competition. He was a very, very sound person. Even from school, we will have seen that leadership quality and some of these things have been bestowed on him. He's somebody that is read, well read. He's somebody that has this and that. But there's another thing that we also need is the Omoluabi trait. Omoluabi, JT is an Omoluabi to the core. That's one thing. JT is an Omoluabi to the core.
All right, thank you very much. God bless
you. Indeed, every forward-thinking and progressive-minded person can learn a thing or two from the life of this great man, whom many people refer to as Mr. Midas, as it seems everything it touches turns to gold. No doubt, Mogaji Tegbe is a man who is truly loved, admired, adored, and respected by his friends and colleagues across various divides.